Good morning, friends. In this today's session, we are going to discuss about important questions based on this chemistry, which are important for entrance examinations. So let us start our questions. Arrange the following compounds in the decreasing order of their reactivity with respect to N-bromosuccinimide. NBS stands for N-bromosuccinimide. N-bromosuccinimide is selective for allylic bromination wherever allylic position is there. Double bond adjacent to carbon is called allylic carbon. In that carbon selective bromination is possible. That is the main application of N-bromosuccinimide. So let us find the N-bromosuccinimide reaction with these compounds and what is the reactivity order. N-bromosuccinimide used to give the bromination under homolytic fission reactions where free radical type of reaction mechanism will be followed. In order to get that, we have to find out the stability of free radical. Based on the stability of free radical, type of product will be obtained. Okay, so this is about toluene, and second is about propyl benzene, third is about allylic benzene, fourth is about isobutyl butynyl benzene. Okay, so among all the given compounds here we have carbon carbon double bond adjacent, which is called allylic position. This allylic carbon atom surrounded by three alkyl groups, hence it is the tertiary alkyl tertiary carbon. If the free radical generated on this carbon, it will be more stable because of tertiary carbon radical is more stable. So this will be more preferred over remaining all. So option 4 will be more reactive towards NBS, followed by, again this is also considered as allylic position, and we have carbon adjacent to carbon. This is allylic carbon. So this is a secondary one comparatively. Here somewhat less reactive. After 4 we will get 3. And next is about these two. There is no allylic position, but still we can perform this bromination by NBS. So when we are taking this, it will be secondary carbon free radical. Hence after 4, 3, next will be 2. And the least will be benzyl because it is a primary carbon free radical. So it will be least stable among all the given options. The correct order will be 4 followed by 3 followed by 2 followed by 1. Option B is the correct answer. This is mainly depends upon the stability of free radical intermediate formed in this reaction. The next one is here. This is oxirane. So three-membered ring will be there, which is in contact with CH2Cl, CH2O, CH, CH2Cl. When it is treated with aqueous KOH, when aqueous KOH treated, what happens? It is used to give substitution type of reaction. When alcoholic KOH is there, that will involved in elimination type of reaction. In case of this compound, because of high steric strain, three-membered heterocyclic compound is high sterically hindered. That's the reason why instead of replacement from this carbon atom, it involved in ring opening reaction. Hence, aqueous KCl when treated with this one, that chloride ion attacks at this carbon, simultaneous shifting of bond towards oxygen and the new bond formation between these two carbon atoms. Cyclization takes place between these three atoms, and removal of this chlorofunctional group is possible. This is about the mechanism. OH will attach it to this carbon atom, and the cleavage of carbon oxygen bond is possible, and this oxygen binds with adjacent carbon, so that again cyclization is possible and removal of this chlorofunctional group takes place. The correct representation of this compound is option number B. Option number B, where inversion of the configuration we will observe, this is somewhat similar to that of SN2 type of substitution. With respect to chloro group, OH group will attack from the back side, and the inversion of the configuration will be observed in case of this compound. The next question, oxidizing agent required for the following conversion. When we are taking dimethyl group, orthomethyl toluene, it is when subjected to oxidation, orthomethyl benzoic acid is formed. When we are taking weak or mild oxidizing agent, only selective reduction, selective oxidation of one methyl group is possible. That's the reason why here mild oxidizing agent like dilute HNO3 is required for this oxidation of one methyl group. And the second is para-nitrotoluene. When para-nitrotoluene is treated with any some bi-oxidizing agent, formation of para-nitrobenzoic acid is possible. Methyl to COOH, this type of conversion is possible under strong oxidizing agent. We require strong oxidizing agent like potassium dichromate or sodium dichromate under acidic conditions. And the next is about orthobromotoluene. Again here, complete oxidation is possible, hence again strong oxidizing agent is required here. We may take camenophore in the presence of acidic medium. That's the reason why option number C is satisfying these conditions. Selective oxidation of 1-methyl group is mild oxidizing agent, HNO3 is required. Methyl to COOH, strong oxidizing agent like sodium dichromate or potassium dichromate is required. Next is about conversion of methyl into COOH. In this also any strong oxidizing agent is added. So option number C is satisfying this condition. An alkyl halide with molecular formula C6H13Br on treatment with alcoholic KOH gave two isomeric alkenes A and B. Reductive ozonolysis of the mixture gave following compounds. Here we got mixture of 4 compounds. All our carbonylic compounds are generated. So if we start the reaction from these, that is called retrosynthesis. By using these also we can construct the starting material. The formula of the compound is C6H13Br treated with alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH is the dehydrohalogenating agent from the adjacent carbon atom so that we will get alkene. Then formed alkene when treated with ozone. Wherever double bond is there, that double bond involved in cleavage and we will get 2 fragments of carbonylic compounds. So double bonded carbons get converted into carbonylic functional groups. So that is about the reaction mechanism involved in this. In order to get these 4 fragments, asymmetric alkyl compound, alkyl halide should be taken. The suitable example will be 3-bromo-2-methyl pentane, because then only we will get mixture of 2 alkenes, then only we will get mixture of 4 carbonyl compounds at the end. So when we are taking this, 1, 2, 3, 3-bromo-2-methyl, and the number of carbons chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pentane. So 3-bromo-2-methyl pentane, we are taking alcoholic KOH when treated. Here is the possibility of double bond in between these two, second and third carbon and third and fourth carbon. 2 possibilities are there, but still formation of this product, that means 2,3 alkene is the major product compared to remaining. The reason is more substituted alkene is more stable according to Sergeev rule. That's the reason why here this compound 1 is major, compound 2 is the minor product. When further subjected to ozone treatment, carbon-carbon double bond is cleaved. Here we will get C double bond O. Here also we will get C double bond O. When it is converted into C double bond O, it is propanol, that is propanaldehyde. And when it is converted into carbonylic, that becomes acetone. Here is the products. One is propanol, second is acetone from this type of alkene. And the second possibility is carbon-carbon double bond in between third and fourth carbons, so that ozonolysis leads to formation of C double bond O, C double bond O. One is acetaldehyde, second is isobutanol. So option number 2 is satisfying this question, hence 3-bromo-2-methyl pentane is the correct answer. The next, the halide which undergo nucleophilic substitution SNAR mechanism most readily. In order to get SNAR stands for nucleophilic aromatic substitution reaction. In order to get nucleophilic aromatic substitution, electron withdrawing groups are favored, because in order to replace one of the nucleophile with another nucleophile, benzene ring should be electron deficient. That's the reason why electron withdrawing groups are favored. Methyl, methoxy, chloro, all these are Plessy affecting groups. That's why these comes under electron releasing and ring activating agents. So these are not preferred in case of nucleophilic substitution. Only the option is para-nitrochlorobenzene. So this is only satisfying this condition, that is SNAR mechanism. The reaction proceeded by carbene ion formation. That carbene ion is stabilized by electron withdrawing groups. So that electron withdrawing group is para-nitrochlorobenzene. This is only the correct option. Identify the set of reagents, reaction conditions in the following transformation. When we are taking bromopropane treated with any X reagent, product is generated, and further reaction leads to formation of 2-bromopropane. Here the condition is one bromopropane should be converted into 2 bromopropane through the one intermediate compound formation. Then we have to find out what is the required conditions to convert 1 bromo into 2 bromo. For that purpose, first we have to treat this starting material with dehydrohalogenating agent. Better dehydrohalogenating agent is alcoholic KOH or NaOH at 80 degrees centigrade. When we are maintaining high temperature, then only elimination reaction is preferable. Otherwise, 20 degrees centigrade leads to formation of substitution. That's the reason why here the product will be alkene. That alkene, when treated with HBr in the presence of acetic acid, it follows Markovnikov law, and bromo group is preferably attached at the second carbon instead of first, because secondary carbocation will be more stable. B will be the major reaction conditions in order to get this 2-bromopropane. So the product obtained in the first reaction can be either CH3, CH2, CH2OH or carbon-carbon double bond. This mainly depends upon the temperature we are maintaining. If the temperature 20 degrees, then the product will be propanol. If the temperature 80 degrees, the product will be propene. That's the reason why we are maintaining 80 degrees centigrade, and followed by substitution with HBr. According to Markovnikov rule, bromo will be substituted on the second carbon with less number of hydrogen atoms. In the next reaction, next question, which of the following will form benzene as an intermediate when treated with KNH2 potassium amide in the presence of liquid ammonia? So this is benzene. Benzene is one of the intermediate. It is not exactly benzene ring. It is another additional pi bond will be there. So that is not exactly acetylenic bond again. So it is one kind of intermediate, major intermediate in the organic synthesis reactions where strong base is required, like potassium amine dissolved in liquid ammonia. In order to get this reaction or benzene intermediate, the important substitution should be electron releasing. When electron releasing groups are there, ring is more active towards this benzene mechanism. Aldehyde is deactivating, nitro is deactivating, acetyl is deactivating, only methoxy group is activating towards arine mechanism or benzene mechanism. Hence, option number B will give the benzene intermediate very easily. So, correct answer will be option number B. In the next question, when we are taking this 6-membered cyclic ring with 2 substitutions, methyl and chloro, treated with potassium iodide in the presence of acetone. Here, based on the solvent, we can identify this reaction comes under SN2 reaction. Aprotic solvent always favors what? Bimolecular nucleophilic substitution, where the single step reaction is possible to convert starting material into product. In order to get the product in SN2, the stereochemistry will be inversion of the configuration. Initially chloro group outside. After the substitution, here we will get iodo group inside without changing the position of methyl. So we have to check that the condition here, methyl also changed. This is not correct. Methyl here, no change in the position. It is not correct. Only option number C is satisfying inversion of the configuration with respect to halogen, halofunctional group. So this is about SN2 mechanism in this cyclic compound. Next is about which of the following compound most rapidly hydrolyzed by SN1 mechanism. SN1 mechanism is favored where the carbocation stability is more. When we are taking triphenyl methyl chloride, here after the removal of chloride, carbocation is generated because SN1 is a multi-step process. Generated carbocation is highly stable compared to remaining all. Here it is phenyl or chlorobenzene, where generates phenyl carbocation, highly unfavored. Allylic chloride somewhat stable due to the resonance. Here benzyl chloride is also stable due to resonance, but here resonance structures will be more because of high amount of conjugation. Greater the conjugation, greater will be the stability. That's the reason why option number C is satisfying this condition. The next question, here the reaction represented in the Fischer projection, 2-dimensional representation of the organic molecule. Central cross line indicates the carbon which is surrounded by methyl, ethyl, chloro and hydrogens are there. Here 2 possibilities we are seeing when it is treated with OH in the path A. The product will be obtained OH, which is the racemic mixture. They also mentioned the stereochemistry of the reaction, whereas the central reactant is treated with OH minus. Again, it is the nucleophilic substitution, and the product is obtained with respect to leaving group. Here, the product having reverse of the configuration in path B. That's the reason why when SN1 mechanism is proceeded, we will get racemic mixture as a product. That's why path A is following SN1 mechanism. Whereas when OH minus is treated from the back end, so that inversion of the configuration is possible with respect to the starting material. Hence, path B is following SN2. That's why option number C is satisfying, because here mixture of products, racemic mixture is SN1, path A is SN1, path B is SN2 reaction. The next, which chlorobenzene derivative involved in the following hydrolysis most readily with aqueous sodium hydroxide to give corresponding hydroxy derivative. This reaction is a simple example for nucleophilic substitution reaction. In aromatic nucleophilic substitution reactions, normal aromatic ring is not reactive towards nucleophilic substitution because formed carbene ion or carbene ion is not carbocation is not stabilized by resonance because it is accumulated on the sp2 carbon only. There is no conjugation. That's the reason why when electron withdrawing groups are present, preferably at ortho and para positions, then carbocation is somewhat stabilized so that reaction is proceeded for nucleophilic substitution reaction. That's the reason why ortho, para trinitrochlorobenzene is preferable for this nucleophilic aromatic substitution, and hydroxy substituted product formation is possible. Option number C is satisfying this reaction condition, which is the best example for aromatic nucleophilic substitution. And the next question, which of the following forms benzene as the intermediate when it is treated with potassium amide and liquid ammonia? As already we discussed, arine mechanism is more preferable in case of electron releasing substance present in the molecule. That's why option number B is satisfying this benzene mechanism. The correct order among the following boiling points of the compounds. When we are taking all these, in all the compounds, only the difference is halogen group, remaining alkyl group is same. As the size of haloid increases, boiling point value is also increases. Size is direct proportionality with boiling point value. Hence, iodo followed by bromo, chloro, fluoro. Option number A is the correct order of their boiling points. Iodomethane higher boiling point compared to fluoromethane based on their size. The next question. Tertiary butyl bromide treated with potassium tertiary butoxide, formation of A product is possible. This A product is treated with N-bromosuccinamide. This is the allylic brominating agent, so that we will get product B. When it is treated with cold alkaline camenophore, then product will be C. We have to find out what is A, B, C, and how many stereoisomers are possible in case of C final product. So it is the tertiary butyl bromide. Tertiary butyl bromide when treated with potassium tertiary butoxide, it is the strong base. Always strong base leads to formation of eliminated product, so that we will get this product 2, 3, 4 isobutene as the major product. This isobutene subjected to N-bromosuccinamide, allylic bromination is possible. Allylic bromination is nothing but double bonded carbon adjacent to carbon is called allylic carbon. So if this carbon is considered, which is called vinylic carbon, but adjacent to carbon is called allylic carbon. Allylic bromination is possible in case of this. This allyl bromide compound further treated with cold alkaline camenophore. Cold alkaline camenophore is called a Bayer's reagent. Bayer's reagent is selective for vicinal dihydroxylation. Wherever double bond is there, that is substituted by OH and OH. We will get final product OH and OH. When the final product is obtained, what we have to find out, number of stereoisomers should be identified. In case of this compound, here chiral carbons, number of chiral carbons will decide number of stereoisomers present in the compound. Here one chiral center is there, that's why we have to apply the formula 2 to the power 1. because 2 to the power of n is the formula for stereoisomers identification. N stands for number of chiral centers in the molecule. Here chiral center is 1. 2 to the power of n, we will get 2 to the power of 1. Nothing but 2 stereoisomers are possible in case of this reaction. In this, first we have to know what is the product obtained. Then only we can identify. We have to know what is chiral center. Then we have to know what is the formula to apply to determine the stereoisomers. Then finally we will get the answer. It is purely so logic based. We have to go through the step by step process so that we can identify the answer very easily. The last question in this session is, when we are taking tetrahydrofuran, 2-methyl tetrahydrofuran, it is a 5-membered ring. It is highly strained ring actually. When it is treated with methanol in the presence of sodium methoxide, so what will be the product? Actually, in normal conditions, this reaction leads to substitution, but in case of this, always ring opening type of reaction is possible. Here, methoxide will attack on the carbon and cleavage of this ring. Here, this methoxide will not attack from this end because here sterically hindering group is there. Hence, this methoxide will come from the back end with respect to methyl. So, the cleavage of the carbon oxygen ring is possible. Here we can see when ring cleavage is possible, this methoxide will attach to this one and the oxide ion formation is possible. This oxide ion will take the proton or H plus from methanol, what we are adding here. Methanol will release H plus, so that methoxide again retained because it is the catalyst. Hence, we will get OCH3 on one terminal, OH on another terminal of this compound. So that ring opening reaction, OCH3 and OH, this will be the final product. This is not the correct step because this OCH3 will always attack on this back end carbon because of steric hindrance with this methyl group. If steric hindrance is not there, this will be the product. Because of steric hindrance, the product will be C, not D. So this is about some of the important questions related to entrance examination. I hope this session will be very much useful to you. Thank you very much.